Get started. Good morning. It's a little early. It's not quite 9:30, but I'm going to go ahead and get started. Thank you, everybody. I'm not going to talk about what happened yesterday. It makes me emotional. So we're just going to do this. Here's a sample of the masks, what they look like when they're done, so you know what our goal is. Just like this. Muslin on one side. Simple cotton layer on this side. We serged it. If you don't have a serger, that's okay. You can zigzag it or you can skip that step. It just made it faster for us. We've got elastic that when it comes in skeins like this, you can literally take your scissors and go right through there and cut it, and that gives you this length, which is perfect for just sewing on the edges. So here is an actual finished mask, and it goes like so. Anyway, that's what it's going to look like when we're done. So here we go. But first thing we're going to do is step over to the ironing board. Okay. When you go through your fabric stash, you want to find just a plain, simple cotton calico, something like this, and muslin, which is this plain. You can, if you don't have muslin, you can make it double layers. They ask to have a solid, non-colored piece of fabric closer to the face. If you can get it, that would be ideal. So we've got a layer of muslin and a layer of whatever print you've got. This is an 8-inch square. You can also do 9-inch squares. I think the smallest they asked for was 7.5. I don't think they want to go much smaller than that. You start out with your squares like this, make sure it's nice and flat. Now, the pattern that I originally had was like 7.5 inch by 8.25, and that just seems like a waste of time. Just do 8, just to do a solid square. It's a lot faster and it works just as well. The other thing you can do is you can actually take a pencil and mark your lines, which might be easier. You want 3 lines running parallel down your center. I got to the point where it was just faster to do it by hand like this. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to come down a couple of inches, and you're going to make a little tuck like so and fold it over. And this is where we need our pins. I'm going to pin it to my ironing board like this and like this. I'm going to take another little tuck, just like that, like this, and like that, and then the third tuck, right about there. And the third tuck might look, it's going to be closer to that edge, but when you turn it over, they're kind of centered. These pleats are important so that they will open up over your face, obviously. If it's not exactly perfect, they said they won't turn any masks away. So it takes a little practice, but it's going to look something like that. And then I'm going to iron it. Just like so. I'll move my pins in just a second, but let me give you an idea of, sorry, I'm going to stay over here. The finished width should be, look at that, almost perfect. Almost exactly 5 inches. Your finished width after you've done your pleats. So it's a good idea to have that handy, and you can see the pleat is really only about 1/2 inch. It's just like the width of your pinky, if you can imagine. I don't know, something like that. And then I'm just going to stab my pins right here because I'm going to do this again. Leave those handy for the next time around, and make sure that is nice and pressed. If you want to start, look how cute those little Harry Potters are. That's another thing. Somebody asked me what kind of prints, and I don't think the hospital will turn anything away, but I would stay away from black or dark colors that just aren't very cheerful. Okay, this step right here, come all the way over to my sewing machine. We're going to just do a basting stitch to hold those pleats in place. Oh, helps if my, hold on, helps if my machine is threaded. Do, 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 do. There we go. Okay. Now we're just going to baste. Ah, missed it. Hold on. Get that all the way under. It might take some time. Just the first. I haven't done this since last night, so I'm still waking up. You can pin those pleats in place so they don't do what they just did and unfold as you sew. You can also, I have an adjustable speed, so I can go slower, and that helps feed the pleats through. Okay, so I've just stay stitched those in place. Now I'm going to wheel over to my serger. If you don't have a serger, you could, at this point, do a zigzag stitch all around those edges, mostly just to hold all of the pleat seam allowances in place. Okay, I'm coming over here to this machine. And this just makes it go faster. Serge it here. Okay, so there's a finished front. If you don't have a serger but know somebody who has one, it's a great idea to get them on board with this if you can. It just obviously makes it go a lot faster. Okay, come on over. So now I have my stack of finished serged pieces. The last part is just attaching the elastic. I'm putting it right here and get it to the corners as close as you can. We're going to take this right here and flip that in to start. Oh, except you don't want to be on a basting stitch at this point. You want to be on a regular stitch. And the serging just helps hold all those edges together in place. Okay, don't forget the other half. Right there. And then backstitch over the elastic a few times to secure that in place. The other thing that if you have time to do this, it just makes it a little more durable, is to flip that elastic over like so and re-secure it. A little extra insurance goes a long way. Okay. And then the sides, I like to fold those over as well. I'm not sure if that's... came unthreaded. If it's necessary, but it just looks cleaner. And in general, these masks are meant to be, they're going to be laundered probably hundreds of times. So whatever you can do to make them more sturdy, more durable would be appreciated by the hospital, I'm sure. Coming down the sides. Okay. And this, it's over. Get right on that edge. There we go. That one. Secure the elastic. We're almost done. Last edge, and all these little bits you can trim off when you're done. Whatever you can do to get it out of their face. And voila, a mask. So all these little threads, again, just trim them, get them out of their way. You can do that assembly line style and get them all done, sewn, and then trim all this. I sat down last night and plugged in a movie and clipped all these little threads all at once. All right, there you go. That is our tutorial on how to make a mask. And it opens up just like so. If you are local and you would like to help but don't know how to sew, we have oodles of fabric that's been donated. I could totally use some help cutting the squares. I have a rotary cutter and a mat. You can use plain scissors, either way. It comes together really slick, but definitely the more help we can get, the better. Thank you everyone for helping. I can't even begin to express my thanks. And I'm sure the hospitals will be grateful too. You guys have a great day. Good luck with everything you can do, and stay healthy. Love you guys.